The most brutal reality of existence boils down to this. Society couldn't care less about your aspirations, your efforts, or your generosity. It bows solely to one force: wealth. Observe carefully. When a wealthy individual steps into a space, the atmosphere transforms, barriers dissolve, and folks gravitate toward them. When someone struggling financially tries to voice an opinion, the crowd turns indifferent. Wealth serves as the shield that guards you, the tool that quiets adversaries, and the throne from which you command. Lacking it leaves you bound in chains. Possessing it grants true liberation. This principle of dominance, grasped by Machiavelli ages ago, remains unchanged. Fail to construct a stronghold of riches, and existence will dominate you. But secure it, and you'll dominate existence. The stark reality of wealth hits hard. Many folks cling to the idea that integrity, compassion, or smarts will propel them forward. Yet in the authentic arena of survival, only a single element determines who rises and who remains shackled: wealth. The initial bitter pill to accept is this: society dismisses your visions, your goodwill, or your skills. It may sting, but it's the fact countless individuals dodge throughout their days. What truly captures attention, earns deference, and prompts concessions is wealth. It's far more than currency in your account. It's protection that defends you, a force that neutralizes foes, and a passcode to realms you never imagined. Absent it, you're vulnerable. Challenges strike deeper, errors exact steeper tolls. With it, attitudes soften, oversights vanish, and crowds rally behind you. Picture this. Two guys walk into a gathering. One shows up in faded clothes, weary gaze, pockets empty. Barely anyone registers his arrival. Now envision the other striding in with subtle assurance, his prosperity evident yet understated. Suddenly heads turn, laughter greets his quips, no matter how lame. Folks angle to stand nearby. His inner essence hasn't shifted, but wealth renders his aura irresistible. That's its strength. It alters the vibe surrounding you. The issue? So many refuse to face it. They grasp at soothing myths. Integrity reigns supreme. Affection triumphs over everything. Benevolence yields returns. Certainly these traits shine in intimate settings, but on the grand stage where chances, security, and autonomy are at stake, it's not benevolence or ability that prevails. It's wealth, and that's the trap for the masses. They're convinced sheer grit will rescue them. Niceness will deliver prizes, endurance will eventually deliver. All the while, their existence erodes amid invoices, obligations, and suppressed resentment. Examine the cycle. Those without means toil the longest shifts yet stay ensnared. The affluent don't always grind more intensely. They operate with advantage. Consequently, the disadvantaged gaze upward in jealousy, while the prosperous peer downward in authority. Machiavelli recognized this long before. Leaders devoid of riches were impotent, forced to plead, borrow, rely on outsiders. Once reliant, autonomy evaporated. In modern times, the dynamic persists. You might lack a throne, but the battle rages on. Now, the battleground isn't blades, but bucks. On a mental level, wealth redefines social dynamics. Sensing your affluence prompts instant behavioral adjustments. Esteem arrives unbidden. Praise swells excessively. Even appeal intensifies. You've likely spotted this in routine encounters. A guy down on his luck gets overlooked by potential partners, but add prosperity, and abruptly he's deemed driven, accomplished, captivating. The individual stayed constant, his finances evolved. This raw fact is one most folks feign ignorance of. They proclaim wealth doesn't matter to me, yet observe, they pursue the prosperous, mimic their habits, covet their triumphs. At core, all recognize wealth as the pull. And the grimmest aspect? Disregard this dynamic and you don't merely stay destitute, you fade into obscurity. Prospects cease emerging. You're no longer viewed as a key contender. Lacking wealth, your appeals resemble pleas. Your pushback echoes as mere static. But with wealth, speech becomes optional. Your quietude resonates stronger than others' clamor. Grasp this. Wealth transcends digits. Its authority distilled into a portable, expandable, deployable form. Without it, You're tethered to others' whims. With it, you redefine your life's guidelines. That's the unyielding fact most will never embrace, and thus they linger impotent, irritated, overlooked, as those who do ascend. The mental dynamics of prosperity run deep. Lacking funds, your statements dissolve like murmurs in chaos. With funds, your mere quietude reverberates more potently than any outburst. Prosperity doesn't merely upgrade your routine, it reshapes global perceptions of you and your self-view. Begin with fundamentals. Detecting your financial strain alters interactions at once. Folks might sympathize or even appreciate you, but deference eludes. They peg you as a risk. Every exchange carries doubt. Can they handle this? Will they hinder progress? Might they seek favors? Reverse the scenario. Sensing your abundance flips their stance. You're no longer a drag, you're a prospect. Even unspoken, they attribute strength, sway, and worth to you. Hence, prosperity exceeds numerals. It's a cognitive tool. Consider partnerships. A Gai-san's resources could be devoted, warm, somewhat appealing, yet his reach narrows. He can't assure steadiness or forge that primal aura of resilience we instinctively admire. Conversely, a prosperous Gai, regardless of looks, generates pull effortlessly as humans flock to reliability, dominance, and plenty. The pattern holds for women. A prosperous woman transcends mere allure. She's authoritative, regarded more earnestly, elevated beyond admiration to invincibility. The vicious irony. Few confess this. They'll insist, prosperity means nothing. I value traits, affection, benevolence. Surface level, perhaps. But observe how swiftly esteem erodes amid fiscal woes, how rapidly regard diminishes when bills stack unpaid. This concealed mindset pervades, though unspoken. Delve further. Prosperity not only alters external views, it transforms internal ones. Scarcity constricts mindset. Issues loom larger with scant fixes. A vehicle breakdown spells catastrophe. An unexpected expense feels like assault. Stress shadows constantly. Dread lingers, but abundance diminishes those hurdles to trifles. Faulty ride? Swap it. Health cost? Settled. Employment loss? Irrelevant. You're independent. Prosperity slays dread. With dread gone, assurance surges, assurance draws. That's why affluent folks often appear composed, not innate bravery, but erased anxieties. They enter spaces sans urgency, and urgency undermines the majority. Machiavelli would mock the illusion of security in modesty. He'd argue, you deem yourself secure in humility? You're vulnerable, a single setback from ruin. Spot on. Thus, average existence poses true peril. Most target adequacy, a gig, modest home, minimal reserves, labeling it stability. Yet it's brittle. One rough period shatters it. That's veiled cognition. Adequacy breeds subtle, perpetual unease. Conversely, amassing vast riches erects a bastion. Rest deepens, choices embolden. Movements exude certainty, unshakable. Prosperity amplifies traits. Generous, it expands your giving. Ruthless, it heightens your edge. Folks claim money alters you, but truthfully, it unveils and intensifies your core. Where most stumble, viewing money as mere sustenance. Cover costs, grab essentials, perhaps stash for trips. But ascenders see it as clout, advantage, mastery. Society's pinnacles aren't always the sharpest, they're funded. Ventures expand not via superiority alone, but fiscal muscle. Even equity tilts. Affluent council stores proceedings, lightens penalties, inverts verdicts, identical statutes, disparate enforcement via funds. That's societal mindset. Then attraction, the unspoken facet. Instincts favor plenty. Kids pursue the one with grandest playthings. Grown-ups chase flashiest rides, finest attire, strongest vibe, not superficiality, biology. Scarcity signals frailty. Thus, without funds, you forfeit not just ease, but sway over primal urges. Sympathy might arise, but allegiance won't. Hence, poverty's prime mental toll isn't mere tension, it's erasure. You're overlooked for invites to pivotal arenas. That's invisibility's curse. Lesson here. Prosperity shapes views, yours and theirs. Possess it, and slips get overlooked. Aura commands regard. Quietude wields strength. Lack it, and minor faults balloon. Appeals beg. Voice evaporates. Machiavelli's insight endures. Shun vast riches, and you're forever defending. Trapped in dread, unseen, mute. With it, you dominate sans utterance. Prosperity, the unspoken force. Wealth's cleverest ploy. It not only bestows authority, it strips it from the have-nots. Prosperity isn't mere affluence. It's a stealthy, deadly instrument. No need for noise or action. Its existence compels submission. Why do regimes dread tycoons? Why do firms court backers? Why do everyday folks defer at luxury's sight? Not the person, the concealed force they wield. Absent it, you're subject to whims. With it, you steer results silently. Prosperity governs time. In scarcity, hours aren't yours, you barter them for basics. Schedules dictate by others. Rise on command, depart on cue. But abundance inverts. Time returns to you. Dictate labor, leisure, discovery. No longer survival bound, you advance. Brutal fact. The needy think they prize money most from necessity, yet they undervalue it, swapping irreplaceable time cheaply. Affluent reclaim time via funds. That's mastery. Prosperity governs options. Two face identical ordeal, a health scare. The needy frets, debts, loans, insomnia. The affluent settles and proceeds. Same ordeal, divergent paths, not character or luck, but funds. The instrument doesn't erase woes, it minimizes, simplifies, sometimes erases them. Without, you sink. With, you navigate. Perilous twist. Sensing your lack marks you as fragile, choice poor. In such realms, the options scarce yield. Prosperity governs ethics. Affluent flout norms unscathed. Needy breach minor codes and pay dearly. Uniform framework, dual measures. Why? Funds warp principles, secures advocates, postpones repercussions, reframes tales. Denial abounds, but life's code confirms. Equity tallies currency. Machiavelli's creed, not virtue, but invulnerability. Sans funds, purity fails. With flaws masquerade as tactics. Prosperity governs esteem. Recall, financial success amplifies your counsel's weight. Words gain gravity. Listeners engage. But in hardship, identical insights get brushed off. Esteem ties less to insight, more to apparent might. Today, might equals funds. Thus, scarcity breeds invisibility. Not error, but unheard truth. Prosperity governs dread, the ultimate instrument. Scarcity spawns perpetual worry. One invoice from breakdown, ailment from ruin, slip from chaos. That worry molds you, wary, contrite, permission-seeking. Safety play stems from entrapment, not prudence. Affluent evade dawn dreads, bill obsessions, survival chains. Dread-free, they venture boldly. Hazard expand realms. Cycle ensues. Funds slay dread. Boldness yields more funds. Scarcity births dread. Dread breeds scarcity, the shadowy reflection. Ironic flip, prosperity mirrors your essence. Weak, it heightens frailty. Avaricious, it swells greed. Potent, it extends reach. History honors funded sovereigns, not destitute sages. Sway inscribes via coinage. The instrument needn't activate. Often, mere existence molds views, twists norms, redefines ends like an armed threat unspoken. Potency suffices. Thus, society's unseen isn't the dreamless, it's the fundless. For sans it, aspirations whisper. With it, they decree. Prosperity and longing, concealed cravings. Folks claim desires for affection, truthfulness, fidelity. Yet quietly they yearn for the might and assurance only riches deliver. An unvoiced fact. Prosperity wields supreme allure. It doesn't merely draw, it mesmerizes. In our era, both genders profess craving sincerity, devotion, genuine bonds. But privately, priorities shift to safeguard, constancy, command, all bundled in riches. Shadowy pull. In bonds, a resource-lacking guy might offer warmth, humor, charm. yet his scope narrows. No pledge of firmness against turmoil. But the prosperous one tenders not just self, an essence. His riches hint at dominance, safeguard, mastery. That cue sparks ancient instincts. Partners sense it, denial notwithstanding. Reciprocal too. Affluent women ascend to sanctity. Suitors view her beyond aesthetics, as elite. She embodies rank, entry, force. Effortless, riches precede her words. Concealed fact, prosperity entices wordlessly. The tacit trade, denial prevails. I seek love for my true self. Yet affection sans funds morphs to hardship, bitterness, weariness. The needy offering gestures pales beside the affluent's steadiness. The devoted needy gets eclipsed by the prosperous's prospects. Not avarice, instinct. Humans innately seek refuge. Today, funds equal refuge. Thus, despite protests, behaviors betray. They flock to abundance, abandon scarcity. Esteem in bonds. Prosperity dictates regard within pairs. Sans funds, a partner may feel overlooked, disregarded, sidelined domestically. Views lack heft sans resource control. With funds, balance tips. Presence compels deference. Voice resists dismissal. Silent, he directs. Likewise for women, one contributing riches isn't mere companion, she's potent. Regard stems from love plus fiscal clout. Thus, many bond clashes mask money issues disguised as other gripes. Not temperament, authority and funds are authority. Prosperity and veiled yearnings, deeper, admissions scarce. Males profess wanting allure, devotion, vitality, yet underneath many seek esteem, bought by funds. Females profess affection, linkage, candor, yet underneath many seek shield, bought by funds. These urges seldom voiced yet steer actions. Ignore them, and frustration ensues. Pondering lacked desire or regard. Fact, funds fulfill wordless cravings. Jealousy, rank, rivalry, prosperity ignites quiet contests. Our guy seeks riches not solely personally, to tower among peers. Beyond partner draw, dominance, deference, order. Women sense this rivalry. Affluent ones aren't just lauded, envied. Attire, routine, essence become armaments in covert societal skirmishes. Funds don't just quench, they kindle hunger for status beyond goods. Yet the snare, as prosperity allures, it misleads. Bonds on riches can hollow. Pursuit of glow, not soul. Funds fade, so does pull. Thus affluent often probe fidelity covertly. They grasp, many grins target riches, not them. Still, even in deceit, advantage persists. Needy can't probe allegiance, sans leverage. Affluent can, that's funds' harsh edge. Even in trickery, it empowers. Machiavellian view, allegiance endures only via gain. Funds forge that gain. Sans it, expect none. Mirrors today. Folks linger where riches comfort. Riches wane, allegiance follows. Not disloyalty, humanity, prosperity and liberty. Ultimate decree. Life's close queries, not benevolence or toil. True probe. Amassed enough clout for unfettered existence? Or did society claim you? At heart, prosperity equals liberty. Prior segments revealed how it steers regard, allure, dominance. But deepest fact, prosperity concerns not extravagance, mastery of fate. It liberates from mere endurance. Ponder typical lives, awaken not rested, but compelled. Hours owned by superiors, vigor by debts, existence by necessity. That's not vitality, ownership. Contrast, rise at will, labor optionally, expend freely, crisis unfazed. That's liberty, what prosperity secures. Sans it, you're not autonomous, rented by norms, leased by needs. With it, self-reclamation. Prosperity secures liberty from muteness. Needy utter yet unheard, voice frail, dismissible. Wisdom sans riches begs. Affluent speak, hush descends. Words weighted by might, not verity. Funds grant not just vital liberty, audible one. In eras where silence kills, that's invaluable. Prosperity secures liberty from dread. Needy households know job loss, illness, shelter cost. Dread crushes visions, shrinks ambitions. Abundance obliterates it. Woes miniaturize, hazards tame, paths broaden. Ordeal turns trivial, grip loosens. Dread-free, actions alter. Ventures shunned by others embraced. Stature elevates, daring thrives. Prosperity secures liberty to forge. Masses build nil enduring. Survival devours. Books unwritten, ventures unlaunched, pursuits abandoned amid energy drain. But funds enable creation. No pursuit, but construction grand. Thus riches bind to heritage, survival free alone craft enduring legacies. Prosperity secures liberty beyond demise. Grim yet vital, post-passing, what lingers? For needy, burdens, hardship, perhaps sympathy. For affluent, heritage, ongoing sway, might outlasting flesh. Funds halt, not end, but redefine it. Sands, quiet fade, oblivion. With, resonance endures. Kin thrives secure. Realm persists, sort of eternity. Comfort's pitfall, illusion insufficiency. Modest abode, reliable role, slight buffer, dubbed security, yet fragile. One upheaval demolishes, not liberty, delicate ease. Authentic liberty demands surplus. Riches so immense, tempests fail. That's Machiavelli's mandated citadel, not frail refuge but stronghold. Ultimate decree, sans prosperity servant. With, sovereign, kind, skilled, diligent, yet sans riches, traits obscure. With, they blaze, deference arrives, ears attend, loss feared. Above all, unfettered life. In conclusion, life's end recalls not struggles or justifications. Sole memory, triumphed or yielded. Prosperity isn't avarice, it's seat, guard, blade, gateway. Sans it, erasable, overlooked, expendable. With it, indisputable. Each moment squandered denying it's about prosperity. Another accumulates fortunes, erects barriers, drafts edicts you'll obey. Choose now, accept ease or claim dominance, for herein only vast riches arms stride unbound, while others slave to wielders.